Good morning, friends. Let us talk about the uses of longitudes and latitudes. We know the latitudes are the horizontal lines that are drawn across the globe from the east to the west, and the longitudes are the semicircles, the lines that are drawn from the North Pole to the South Pole. We also know that all the longitudes are of the same size, they are all semicircles, and the latitudes are of different size. The equator is the longest latitude, and the length of the latitudes decrease from when we move from the equator towards the poles, and the latitude of the North Pole and the South Pole is just a point. Now let us see the uses of longitudes and latitudes. The first and foremost and important use of the longitudes and latitudes together is the location of a certain place. We use latitudes and longitudes to describe a place, to locate the place on the earth wherever it is, by simply telling the longitude and the latitude that pass through it. We can locate any place on the earth. And longitudes, as we already discussed, are useful to determine the time, to know the time. We know that the time on each longitude from the South Pole to the South Pole is the same in a particular day. So longitudes are particularly useful to determine the time. And another important use of the latitudes is to determine the heat zones. We know that the regions between the two tropics, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, are the hottest places on the earth, and almost all the major deserts are formed in these tropical zones. And when we move from the equator, that is from the tropical zones towards the poles, the temperature decreases. However, the temperature of a particular place depends on other factors also, such as the altitude of that particular place and its nearness from the sea. And we also know from the latitudes that the pattern of winds, as we already discussed, the heat zones, that is tropical zones, are the hottest places, and the air here is heated by the heat of the sun, and it raises up and moves towards the poles, and the cool air from the poles travels towards the equator, that is the tropical zones, and it forms a circle. So the patterns of wind circles are also known from the latitudes. And another important use of the latitudes and latitudes is to track stolen mobile phones and automobile devices. If your mobile phone is stolen, and from the signals of the mobile phone, you can easily locate that on which latitude or longitude your mobile phone is there. And another important in the modern times is that the latitudes and the longitudes together make the coordinates of GPS. Any person can locate any place on the earth using GPS, and the GPS uses the coordinates of latitudes and longitudes. Friends, these are the main and important uses of the latitudes and longitudes. I think you enjoyed this session, my friends. If you enjoy it, please like it, share it, And if you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe it. Thank you. Have a nice day.